So lads, as you already know very well, that this is the month that FIFA 23 is out, and this is when it's a brand new clean slate and that you can start your brand new ultimate team, and that this is really the most exciting part of the year where everything feels all brand new squad, brand new account, brand new opportunities. And even though we may find the game frustrating at times in terms of gameplay, there's nothing that can deny how exciting the first week or two of FIFA is. The entire market can be manipulated in many ways, and that you could have a lot of fun just trading on the market, and that is typically what I find the most enjoyment of when playing FIFA. Isn't really grinding the gameplay or doing all the SBCs. I find most enjoyment to just trading in the market, flipping cards, investing, and I feel like that is what I find the most enjoyment from the game. Tell me down below in the comments if you guys are a trader, if you guys also like to spend your time investing and trading. I am live on twitch.tv every single day. If you guys want to chill, offer some advice, have a bit of a chat, if you guys got some ideas, keep or sell, kind of stuff like that, your kind of starter teams going up into FIFA 23, link is down below in the description, and let's get stuck into it. Yo, do you play FIFA 22? Yeah. Is your team bang average? You absolute pathetic piece of... You're saying that to the viewers? No, obviously. Ah, okay. I mean you. Do you face teams like this? You can't keep getting away with it! Do you know there's a way to get coins? Why are you shouting at me? Then go to userbuy.com for the cheapest and most reliable place to buy your coins on FIFA 22. Link is down below in the description, and also use code Vizeh at checkout to get a discount. Now, of course, as this is recorded on the 7th of September, the full game isn't out yet. So before I get someone complaining and say, oh my god, this is actually 22, because the game isn't out yet. This is a video for people who would want a bit of advice about how to start off FIFA 23. And this is, for me, the most important things that you guys can do when you first start off. Now, I could do an entire video more about a beginner's guide about how to start FET. Now, I've been playing Ultimate Team since FIFA 11. I've been playing FIFA since FIFA 03. I'm pretty sure everyone here has all gone through, you know, the start of FET, and sometimes you may make mistakes and you guys don't even know about it. That's the main issue. Some people kind of just go straight in and make mistakes, and then next thing you know, they are a step backwards when they really shouldn't be. So step number one, before we even get into the actual full version of the game yet, so EA Play 10 hours early access is out at the same time as the Ultimate Edition. So there's no, like, typically there's a couple of days earlier before the actual game is out on Ultimate Edition that you can play the 10-hour early access. Sadly, this year, it is out at the same time. So this is to people that don't have the full version of the game, has not pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, right? And these are for you people that, a lot more people than you would think, especially like younger kids with their parents that buy some FIFA. Some wouldn't want to buy them the full version of the game, and especially not the Ultimate Edition straight away. When you do get the early access, you can log on and open your initial starter packs if you really want to, but after that, only leave your hours for the early access just for purely for gameplay, and all the SBCs, all the grinding you could do on the web app. It sounds simple, but people, especially younger kids as well, some people get really excited. So just a little tip, if you guys do know that you will have the standard edition and you won't be able to get the full version of the game when it is out for the EA Early Access, then just be careful with your time on it and just try to do gameplay specifically and go on the web app to do all the SBCs and trading, because it'll just save you a lot more time that way. And also, because I've seen people do it as well, make sure when you do quit the game to quit it properly through the menus. For example, go through here and press quit. Simple as that, because some people don't realize that still takes down your hours. So number two, you load up your account, you get your starter team. What do you do next? You go into the objectives, okay? Some people, when they get the game and again, are younger, they just want to just play the game immediately. They go play rivals, or they go play maybe even battles or something. What I recommend massively is simply put to go straight into the objectives, and there's tons of things here that you guys can do to get yourself coins and even packs without even playing a game. So you go into objectives, you go into foundations, and there'll be tons of little objectives. Simple things like simply like put a chem star on a player, put on a contract for a sample player. The basics is the main one, positioning, just literally just change a player in a position. But at the start, these things do matter. Number three, people forget that this is still a feature, and I imagine this will be the exact same thing as it is in this year and the year before that, and that is the finishing and assist mastery milestones that you can get 100k packs and 50k packs just by simply playing squad battles for an hour or so, maybe 2-3 hours. Assist mastery, if you get an 85 rated team, which is not that hard to really get, go into battles, go on the lowest difficulty if it's beginner, and then get your 500 assists and 500 goals, including that as well. Also, I think it's, if you go into finishing mastery here, it is 100 finesse shots, and I'll give you a 50k pack as well right there. And I did this as well. All it takes is about, I want to say maybe like 2.5-3 hours, just playing battles or scoring a ton of goals, and just by doing that you get yourself some big packs that will massively help out your club. Even if they're untradeable, it's definitely worth giving it a chance, because I've seen many people do this and get insane players. I think I got a Sadio Mane out of mine when I did mine this year. Okay, step number 4. Now you're probably going to be caught in a situation that you get a player like a Pereiro, or a player like a Busquets, or a player like a Verratti, a quite decently rated card, which isn't really seen as meta, so maybe seen as quite cheap. Now this could be quite a large variety of players, Immobile for example, right? And now what will happen is that these cards will be very, very cheap because no one would really want to get them. A high rated cards in the first few weeks isn't really seen as important because there's nothing to put them in. There's no SBCs to put these type of cards in. What will happen is that these cards will be very, very cheap. Now, if you guys do get these cards, you get a Pereiro, you get a Verratti, you get an Immobile, I would recommend to try to hold on to as many as you can. Now I know it may be seen as quite hard to do that, because you get 5k, you get 6k, you get 7k, and you kind of want that coins in your club right now to maybe go on and do other things. And I completely get that, but it's consistent with every single card like this that I can show you 5 samples here. So Pereiro's right here, started off 6k for the first week of the game, went down to 4k, 4.8. I think that was around the same time as the Fifa point was dropped to the entire market. And then it rolls up 6k to 7k to 10k, went back down to 7k, and then went up again to 12k, and the peak was 17k. This is one safe investing method, that there will always be these non-meta but high rated cards that people would want for SBCs, and they will go up. They'll have a normal kind of price, 10k, let's say for Verratti, 9k, goes downwards because of course everyone had a massive amount of supply. And my next step goes into the FIFA point problem, is that a lot of people, if you guys have got the Ultimate Edition, will get 4,600 FIFA points for absolutely free. Issue is, everyone will get those FP at the exact same time, and that means that the market will be absolutely flooded. So if you guys have got the Ultimate Edition, you guys will pre-order the game and you will get those points. What I would recommend, because most people won't have the care to really hold on to the FP, they'll just want to open it instantly and just open packs. They won't be spending it on SBCs, they'll just be doing it on packs. So therefore there will be tons of players in the market that's being put on there because of incredible supply. And don't forget as well, both Xbox and PlayStation is on the same market, so imagine how insane that supply will be. So I would recommend just to hold on for about a day or two, maybe even 3 days, because it will hit the market hard. Whatever players that you will get in that time period will go down in price massively. So as a bit of advice, I would say hold on to your FP. If you guys want to go do drafts with the FP, feel free. If you guys back yourselves at the game to get yourself consistent good packs from it, then go do that. Now, quickly, I just want to touch up on the informs, more specifically Team of the Week 1. This is Team of the Week 1 from from FIFA 22, obviously. And the main issue is that since dawn of time, usually the 10 hours early access on web app is out before the full game. So typically, people would not be able to really get these cards in terms of the supplying them anywhere near as much, because there's less people on the game because the game isn't fully out yet. Issue is that with this FIFA, you can get onto the early access and the full version of the game of the Ultimate Edition instantly. Vinicius is a player which is a very meta card, and that he will have less supply at the start because less people in the game opening packs. And what happens is that once he's had a packs, he will rise up and rise up and rise up and up, and he went to an absolute peak of 284,000 coins, which he was on the first week of FIFA 134. So that is literally that's doubling your money right there, which is an insane profit. And if you flip that, you bought 10 of them, you've made yourselves 1,000,000 coins just like that, just by getting 10. Now of course not every card is like this, but sample is a Marçal was a card which I also invested in and thought I think I bought like 6 of these guys and thought, okay, because he's Premier League, he's pacey, and I thought that it would be, an obvious one to also rise up due to lack of supply, and he did pretty much the opposite. He kind of just maintained the same amount for about a week or two afterwards, and then eventually kind of went down. Kimmich, for example, had kind of a decent reaction, was like 161 for quite a while, then went up to 190, so he had that kind of effect. One big card that had a real big boost, but I remember like massive, was Barella. Barella had an 86 rated in form, if you know his card and and he went insane, like to an insane amount of money, because he started off, he was in Team of the Week like 3, sorry, Team of the Week 2, and then what happened is that people realized that it was quite good, and he went from 75k and he went up and up and up all the way to 142k. And I think the main issue is because Barella and Vinicius, they were around that kind of 100k mark in quite popular leagues, and that people like, let's say Ismail Sarr, people kind of don't care about this kind of lower rated player because of an 82 rated in form. People have so many coins already because of the FP, because of how easy it is to get SBCs and to get rewards from squad battles and champions, that people have so much more coins to play with immediately. If you do want to invest, I would say try to invest, and I know it's hard because it's a lot of money, but try to invest in the more kind of, you know, higher range brackets to kind of 70ks, 100ks. Up next here, and back onto the game, and this is when you guys can use the web app if you guys haven't got the full game to do this. If you guys have got full version, then great. So simply put, it's the SBCs. Once you've done the objectives, once you've done all that good stuff, then you can go on to the foundation SBCs. Let's get started. The hybrid leagues, the hybrid nations, the League Nation hybrid. Try and get this done as fast as possible. As fast as possible, because this just gives you the best. But what I was saying when it comes to this is that try to go and use Footbin. Try and use Footbin. I'm not sponsored by Footbin, but it is incredibly useful. Go on Footbin and you would find the hybrid nations, and for example, as of right now, it will cost you 60k to complete the entire thing. And in here on Footbin, you've got the best way to complete every single SBC. Rank it by in order of the squad that you want, and then you can see the squad that you need to go and buy in the cheapest way. Now, of course, you don't need to copy the entire thing. Just try to use like the main goal players, and you can use any bronze players you desire. So it could be right mid, right back, links from, let's say, Korea, maybe for some of the K-League. So you can use the golds for example. The golds I think are probably going to be needed, and of course there'll be situations where a person will try to specifically price lock a player. Typically be a silver or a bronze. Very rarely can you get a gold player which has been price locked, but always check if you guys really want to, because that's how people catch you out. But yeah, let's say it's one like this. Someone could have actually price locked this right mid for example, or this right back, and that it may say here 500 currency cost, but that's because it was updated 47 weeks ago. So always just be careful with that. But yes, what I enjoy doing is sniping. Now of course it would be harder for the start of FIFA 22 because of the market is shared, so that's gonna be a complete mess. There always be filters of players that are always usable and will always go for a good price. So for example, you've got here there's always silver English players, especially silver rare English players, that will go for a lot more money in the first couple of days of FIFA. And I usually find this is probably the best filter, or if it's like French gold rare French centre backs, for example, and there will always be these type of cards that are needed on the game. Brazilian defenders are also a fantastic filter. Brazilian right backs, for example, remember that was fantastic for the start of this FIFA, and there will be filters that I will be giving you guys on my Twitch live streams. There'll be thousands of them every day that we can go and snipe on, invest with, try to flip, and that is one way that I enjoy playing the game and just making easy coins. I remember back in FIFA 20, I think it was like an SBC that required like Korean players, and like any Korean players, and that any like bronze Korean guy was worth like 700 coins, but I just sniped them for like 200 coins literally all day, and I made about like 200,000 coins in one day just by sniping like bronze cards. And that is just little things that you guys can do to make coins. Now of course that's very specific, but there will be opportunities like that very early on. So these are things to keep in mind and to get into your mindset while we're coming up to FIFA 23. Tell me down below in the comments, is there anything I'm missing out, any great tips that you'd recommend for when you start off. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for another video, and stay safe.